The acorn in the storm. Listen closely, because this begins in the moment most would overlook. A tiny acorn lay half buried beneath an ancient oak, trembling at the first rumble of thunder. Another storm, it thought. Why must the sky always roar? Wind gathered in the branches above, and the old oak creaked like an old storyteller waking from sleep. Little one, the oak murmured, storms feed the roots of giants. But the acorn didn't want to be a giant. It wanted warmth, safety, softness. It wanted a quiet world where nothing cracked or shook or threatened to sweep it away. Rain began as a whisper, tiny taps on its shell. Then the downpour arrived, drumming like war. The ground shifted, mud swirled, roots twisted. The acorn felt itself sink deeper. Am I being buried? Is this how small things disappear? Lightning split the sky, turning night into bone-white daylight. The acorn curled inward, helpless against the storm. It prayed for it to end. It didn't matter how, just stop. But storms never asked permission. Days passed, then weeks. The acorn sat in the cold darkness of soil, still, silent, forgotten by everyone, except the ancient oak. Little one, the oak whispered through the earth, you are not being buried, you are being planted. Something stirred inside the acorn, a pressure, a warmth, a push. It resisted, fearful of the unknown, but the pressure grew stronger. A crack formed, not the shattering of destruction, but the opening of possibility. Tiny roots unfurled like trembling fingers into the soil. A shoot reached upward, chasing the light it had never seen but somehow believed existed. Storms came again. Wind tore young leaves. Rain flattened its tender stem. Lightning shook the whole forest. The sky wants to break me, the sapling thought. But beneath the surface, its roots deepened, gripping dirt, drinking strength. Season after season, it endured. Storms remained frightening, but each left the sapling stronger than before. Years passed. The sapling became a young tree, its bark thickening, its branches unfurling like arms ready to embrace the world. One night, when another storm arrived, far greater than any before, wind howled like wolves, trees bowed, the earth trembled. The young oak stood firm, no longer quivering, no longer begging the storm to stop. It stretched its roots deeper, raised its crown higher, and met the fury head on. When morning sunlight finally broke through, the forest was quiet. Leaves glittered with rain. The ancient oak stood nearby, proud. Now you understand, the elder said. The young oak looked out across the clearing. Where once it had feared storm clouds, it now recognized them as sculptors, carvers of strength, teachers in disguise. The acorn had not grown despite the storms, but because of them. And so it whispered to the wind, to any trembling seed below, this is how giants are made. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow.